The United Kingdom and the United States have formally opened trade talks today, hoping to, at some point, conclude a free trade agreement. It's a two-week session that began, and it began by video conference. Both sides have expressed and professed a wish to move quickly, hoping to get it done by the time of the end of the transition period, for when the UK, of course, no longer enjoys the benefits of EU membership. Possible hiccups will be agriculture, autos, finance, pharmaceuticals and the NHS. Antony Phillipson is the UK Trade Commissioner for North America. He, as always, kind and joins us to talk about these issues. He joins me now from New York by Skype. Anthony, the first call is why? Why have these trade talks? I know they have to take place at some point, but is now the time to divert precious attention when there are so many other really more life and death pressing issues to deal with?
Well, thanks very much, Richard, for having me on. It's a shame not to be able to see you in person. I think there has never been a more important time to do this. As you and I have discussed, this has been a long-term ambition for the UK and the US governments. We've been preparing for a long time, including before the crisis. But actually, I think it's now really, really important that we get on and see if we can continue to deepen and strengthen this absolutely vital economic relationship that we have with each other. We can then take that into the global context and work with others to keep supply chains open, to keep trade flowing, to create, part of the economic recovery that is going to be so important for both our countries.
Right.
So I think there's never been a more important time to do this.
So the logistics of this will be video conference, and it's highly unlikely that you will be in a position to have the negotiators in the same room at the same time anytime soon. Realistically, how much progress can be made?
I think we can make lots of progress. You're absolutely right. This is not going to be a normal trade negotiation as those who are steeped in these things have done. But actually, business has been talking to each other virtually and remotely for a long time. I took part this morning after Ambassador Lighthizer and the International Trade Secretary Liz Truss had launched the negotiations. The two chief negotiators convened their full negotiating teams in a virtual plenary session. So we are off and running. That will now break down into the chapter groupings and the chapter sessions. We are going to pursue all of those chapter sessions alongside each other. We will see how far we can get, and we are absolutely committed to getting as far and as fast as we can.
Is the NHS off the table? Discussions about allowing access and procurement?
Our position on that is very, very clear. It is off the table. We will not be addressing issues around access to the health system or indeed pharmaceutical drug pricing.
Right. Can I just turn to the whole question of Brexit, if I may? I saw, obviously, as you'll be well across the recent meetings and discussions with Michel Barnier and co. But it raises the issue, hasn't British business got enough to worry about with uncertainty and everything that's going on, without the added pressure of the potential for the UK to crash out of the transitional period and no longer have the benefits of it? Wouldn't a sensible thing, Anthony, be to simply say it will all happen, but we'll put it off for a year until businesses can concentrate on it?
I think what business needs is two things. They need certainty and they need opportunity. And I think we have been very, very clear, and my colleagues in London, including ministers, of course, have made very, very clear that the important thing to do on the EU track, we have left the EU. We left the EU at the end of January this year. We now need to complete the process and leave the transition period and give business certainty about what that future looks like. Again, in the broader context of the economic crisis we're all going through, that certainty has never been more important. And then secondly, we need to give them opportunity. So we need to find new markets for them to invest in, new markets to trade in, new products and variety and better prices for UK consumers. Sure. And that's what this is all about.
But I'm not questioning the philosophy in the biggest term. I'm questioning the practicality. Every day, companies are laying off thousands of workers. Many of those jobs won't come back. Many of those orders won't come back. Is it right, as you go into a reopening later in the year, to load them up with more initial uncertainty by the end of the year?
What we're aiming to do, and we're absolutely confident we can do, and this is also a shared ambition of our EU partners, is to give them certainty, is to give them clarity about what the future of that relationship looks like. As I said, we left the EU on the 31st of January. We now need to make clear what that future trading relationship is, at the same time as deepening and strengthening our partnership, not only with the US, but with others who we want to deepen these links with around the world.
Anthony, always good to have you, and please, let's talk more. Don't worry, I'm not going to invite you to give a running commentary on the trade talks. Trade talks can be very slow, and you wouldn't anyway, but you get the point. It will be nice to have you back to talk about it as things go on and understand where we are. Thank you, sir.
I'll be delighted. Thank you.